Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are going to work on Pandas library. So Pandas library is used to work on Excel data sheets and CSV data sheets. We'll be talking further on why do we use it and what are the specialities about this library. And also we'll be seeing some functions of it. So let us see what all do we have in it and let's go ahead. So now I am on the Jupyter notebook. Over here we'll be looking forward to the library and we'll be using it. So first of all, let us understand what is pandas. Okay, so what is pandas? So when we talk about pandas library, so it generally is a library used for data extraction and analysis. So whenever you want to extract some data, so you save your data in Excel sheet, you save your data in text file, you save your data in CSV files. So whenever you want that data, you use pandas for that. So it is a library which is used for data extraction and analysis, and like it has a lot of function in it. It is generally and a coding, okay, a coding alternative of Excel sheets. Okay, so you must be working with Excel. So I'll tell you the difference what happens generally. So whenever we are working on Excel sheets, so we see the data. So while working on Excel, we are working on the visible data, but when we work with pandas, so we are working on the non-visible data. We can say we work with the trends. We see, we analyze the trends, and we work with it. So that's why the Pandas is different from Excel and it is a coding alternative of Excel sheets. Okay. So how you will install? Okay. So installing Pandas. So if you are using any other language, okay. Sorry, if you are using any other IDE or ideally, then you will have to install this library in the console and the code is pip install pandas. But on Jupyter Notebook, these all library already comes pre-installed, so we don't have to install it on Jupyter Notebook, but still, it's a code which you can remember, okay? And apart from this thing, now how to use this library. So the conventions on using this library is that, just a second, convention use, okay? Or I'll say using library, okay? Using library. So conventionally, we write import pandas as PD, okay? We import all the library and we give an alias name which is PD. So this way we import the pandas library. So while working on pandas, we should be knowing two things. Okay. So the first thing which should be knowing is series, what is series, and second is what is data frame. So DF, okay, DF for data frame. Let us write data frame. Now I'll tell you the difference between them on the whiteboard. So what is a series? Series is a 1D data, one dimensional data, which is on a single plane. Let's say if I ask you to give numbers from 1 to 10, so you write 1, 2, 3 and go till 10. So this is a series of numbers. Okay. Now series is 1D data. Like you can just remember this thing. Series is a 1D, one dimensional data. But on the other hand, when we talk about DF, a data frame, so data frame is a collection of rows and columns, so RC, and it is just like an Excel sheet, but in a cellular method. Okay, so this is a data frame. So we'll be working with both. So first of all, I'll tell you how to create series and how to create data frame, and then how to work on them. Okay, so first thing, let us create series. So for creating series, first of all, import pandas. I am writing this again and again so that we get a habit of it rather than just writing it once. Okay. So next is how to create series. It's easy. It's very easy. You just have to one thing. Write pd dot series. Let's save it in S. Okay. S equals to pd dot series, capital S, remember. And in this, you will give the value 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Okay. And then let's give it a run. So when you print S, so you will see we get a series. We get our numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess getting these indexes you are getting, you might be confused. So let us give some different numbers. Let's give 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. So now when I run S, so you can see that these numbers are coming over here, and this is the series 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. I can change the value of indexes as well. It's easy. And what will I do for that? I'll write indexes or index equals to n1, n2, N3, N4, and N5. So this will create a, see, the indexes are changed, N1 100, N2 200, N3 300, and so on. So this is about series, but to be truthful, series are not much used. The main thing which is used in pandas is the data frame feature. So we'll be creating the data frame first of all. Okay. So what is data frame? I have already explained. So how do we work on data frame? It's easy. We have to give the column names, okay, as key. Okay, we'll have to use dictionary. We will use give the column name as key and the values as r. Okay, so rows will be the values and key will be the column. So it's easy. Let's just again import the pandas library as pd, and after this we'll do what? We'll create, let's say, df for data frame, pd dot capital D and capital F. This has to be the syntax because Python is a case sensitive language. So I give values in a format of key. So let's say name, okay, and its values I give as n1, n2, has to be string, and n3. So I have given three values. Let's say I give one more key, which is number. Okay, so num, which is again a list. Let's say it is 100, 200, and 300. Give it a run and run df. So you will get C. Now this was a series. In series we were getting 100, 200, 300, 400 in a single line. But over here we are getting it as a data frame because you can see name is at the top. As I told you, the key will be the column. So see, the key is over here and the values will be just like the rows. Okay, so this has to be how we create data frame. I believe that you understood this thing. And similarly, like over here, I give an index, right? So you can also give index in data frame as well. Let's say you write index, okay, comma, and you can give values as A1, A2, and A3. So definitely we'll have to give three, right? So when you give it a run to df, now this is A3, A2, A1. So I give it a set, that's why. So I will have to give it a list. Error. So see, now we have A1, A2, A3. Previously I gave a set, so set doesn't have a followed um, order, so it just jumble the elements. Now I have given a list, so it is following the same order. So this is about data frame. You can also try creating data frames on your own. You can use them. But again, pandas is not used for creating data frames like this or something. It is generally used for extracting data from Excel sheets and all. So for that, I will be using say, let's see what we have with us. So let's use a movie detail. I guess I have a movie detail Excel sheet. So it is my Excel no, movie detail.csv. Okay, perfect. So you can see I have this CSV file. CSV is also opened on Excel sheet. You can also convert it into Excel and try it. But I will be using this file. If you want this file, then DM me on Instagram. I will share the access with the file. Okay. So let us just try to open this thing on the pandas library. Okay. So first of all, I'll just give the heading that opening different files using as data frames. Okay. Opening different extensions as data frame. So the first thing first is how to open, let's say, opening an CSV file. Okay, opening a CSV file. So for opening a CSV file, let us first of all take the df variable. It is a variable. Then the syntax is pd.read underscore CSV. Then give the path. Generally, what you have to give is you have to give the either the path or you have to give the file name. But see, there is a difference between them. What is the difference? If you have uploaded the files on the Jupyter, like you can upload them over here. See the upload keys over here. Okay. If you have uploaded them, then give file name. Otherwise, give path because it is. If I give example for you, okay. So let's say you are in school. Okay. So you all are in school. Now in school, let's say you are in fifth floor. Okay, you are at fifth floor and sixth floor and then seventh floor and then at eighth floor you have your library. Okay, your library is at eighth floor. So I ask you all to get me a maths book. Okay, I ask you to get me a maths book from the library and you are on the fifth floor. So the steps of Getting the notebook is from 5th, go to 6th, go to 7th, then go to 8th, then go to library, right? And then get the maths book. So this is the case when you are not in the library. When you are not in the library. But on the other hand, let's try. So this is the case when you are not in the library. Next case is when you are in the library already. Okay, you are in the 8th floor and you are in the library. So while being in the library, you have to get the maths book. So what should be your step? You are in the library, so you only get the maths book, right? You don't have to go to 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, again library, then get the book. So this is the difference when we use path and when we use file name. So I will be using the file name directly, which is moviedetail.csv. So movie underscore, no, not underscore, moviedetail.csv. Give it a run. Now write df. Okay, so you'll see the all the data. So this data has 149 rows and 10 columns, and serial number, release date, movie name, release time, genre, budget, box office collection. It is as same as what we had over here. So if I download this file now and I open it with Excel, okay, so you will see that it has the same rows and columns just like what we have in our df. So that's why we use pandas for the coding alternative. I'll just show you. See. So it is just like this. So you can see over here that release date and all things are given over here as well. Okay. So apart from this, we don't need this thing. So there might be some cases when you don't have these headings, right? There might be some cases. So what will you do then? So for at that moment of time, you have to write header equals to none. Okay. In that cases, okay, none. So see, currently we have the particular heading, so it is getting in the file. But if there was no heading, then giving header equals to none is an important case. If you give header equals to none, then that will not be counted as the header. But if you don't give anything, then that will be the header. The first line will be considered as an header. Okay. Apart from this, how to read a Excel file, an Excel file. So reading an Excel file. It is going to be same, okay, reading an Excel file. So in that case, what is going to be happen? Then you will have to write pd.read underscore Excel. So everything same. It is going to work like this, but the only thing is that rather than writing CSV, you are writing Excel. So what they generally do, okay, so opening different extension as data frame. This is what it is doing. It is converting different extensions as a data frame for the file working on, okay. After then this, I will ask you all guys to create notes because see, I also use notes and I always create them. I can share these files with you. Like I will just create a PDF of this and share with you all. But definitely using notes will help you to remember this all and will give you a good practice. Okay. So now let's do this thing. Working on DF. Okay. Working on data frame. So how do we work on data frame? So it's going to be easy. We have already read the files. Okay. So the first step in this is viewing the data. Okay, we want to view the data, right? So viewing the data. So just a second, I'll give an hashtag space. Yes. So we have two methods to view the data. First method is head. Okay. So for currently, let's see what we have in DF. So DF has 149 rows. Okay, with the values, and let's say I want to see only first 5 rows. So starting from the start, we use DF head. Okay. So what does DF head do? DF head shows the first 5 rows by default. Okay, first 5 rows by default. This is the work of DF. But let's say if you change the value to let's say 10, so it will show you the first 10 rows. Okay, let's say you change the value to 50, so it will show you the first 50 rows. So you can see it is going till 50. So this is how it works generally. Okay, but general case it gives only first 5 values. So give it a run and you get first 5 values. On the other hand, let's say you want the data from the end. So for that you can use the df.tail. Df is the file we have already imported, please remember. So this will give by default last 5 values. Okay, by default last 5 values. So see, df.tail is giving 148, 7, 6, 5, 4. So these are the last 5 values. Now on the other hand, again, if you want more than last five values, then give 10. Okay, values. Let's say we write 10 over here in the bracket, so we get the last 10 values. And if we make it 50, so we'll get last 50 values. So you can see this is what happening over here. So we have df.head, then we have df.tail. You might be asking that what if you want one certain row, or what if you want more than one certain row from the middle? I will be telling that as well. It's quite like a little complex, just like slicing, but again, it's easier. Okay, so let's go ahead with other things. Okay, so now getting details about our data, getting details about our data. This is important, isn't it? So first thing we'll be doing is the df.shape. Okay, so df.shape gives you the rows and columns. Okay, r comma c, rows and columns. Df.shape work is to do this. It gives you rows and columns. While the next thing is df.describe. Okay, df.describe. So df.describe is a very special function. It gives the mathematical info about the data. So see, you can see all the values over here which have numbers in it. For example, serial number is a numerical value. Budget is a numerical value. Box office collection is a numerical value. YouTube views, YouTube likes, YouTube dislikes. So all the all the mathematical values are getting the mathematical info. Okay. So you can see count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, the 25 to 75%, and the maximum. So you can see the data and see what is happening over here as well. Okay, let us write df.head over here. Okay, and let's see the first five values. I wanted to see actually the first headings. Now let's say you want to get out one particular heading. You want one heading. Okay, you want one row of the heading. Let's say I want all the movie names. Okay, so what I can do is I can write df dot, okay, movie name. So I will just write capital M movie, capital NAME. So see, these are all the movie name. I get a series out of a data frame. So generally, what is a data frame? Data frame is nothing but a collection of series. You can see one, two, three. You can see these are the data frame is a collection of series. So I am getting one series out of it. Okay, I am getting one series out of it by just giving the data frame name. Okay, with the variable which I have used, and the name of the particular column. Okay. Apart from this, if you say you want the genre names, let's write genre over it. Okay. So give it a run and we'll get genres. So this is how we use df.genre. Okay, giving the names. Apart from this, what we can do is we can use, let's say, we use the same word. This was giving me the first um, series. Okay, now apart from this, let's say I want all the unique values. Okay, so I'll write unique. So unique. I get all the unique values out of it. So in 149 values, there are only five repeated values. Okay, there are only five, I'll say, values present. So what are these? These are romance, they are thriller, comedy, drama, and action. So what do we get from here? We get that using the data frame, the name of the particular series, and unique function gets us the unique names of the particular collection. Apart from this, we also have df.genre, and in this we can give value counts. This is a good function. So when I write value counts, so I get all the counts of the values. So comedy is 36 in number, drama is 35, thriller is 29, romance is 25, action is 24. So I will add this up. So 36 plus 35 plus 29 plus 25 plus 24. So probably I'll be getting 149. Oh, actually, I just less sign I have to give. So see, I got 149. So this is the particular idea about value counts. Unique gives you the unique values. Value count gives you the count of the values. Okay. Apart from this, we have rename function. Okay. So rename function, rename. Okay. So what does rename means? Let's say I have df. Okay, my df dot head. Let's run this thing and see the values. Let's say I'm not liking this particular value. Okay, I'm not liking this thing. So what I can do is I can say df dot rename. Okay, and I can tell what I want to rename, and it is a columns, and I will give a value in the dictionary. So I will give first of all the original name which I want to change. Okay, so copy this thing over here and paste it inside this and give a colon and change a new name. Let's say I want to name it a serial. So if I give it a run right now, I'll get new value. Okay, so see, SI number, serial number is changed to serial. But if you run the original df.head again, the data isn't changed. Okay, the data isn't changed. To change it in real time, okay, to change it in real time, what do we have to do? We have to write data df.rename. Okay, I want to change rename the columns, right? So columns equals to give a dictionary. I want to change, paste it, okay, and I want to name it as serial. Just give a comma and write in place equals to true. This will do what? This will change the values of the original data rather than working on a copy, and it changes the value of the original data. You can see over here that previously we were having serial, now we have SL number in the original, and when I change the original with the in place in true, so we got DF head as serial as well. So this is how this works. Okay. Similarly, you can also change the rows. For rows, you will have to write indexes. So df dot rename, and I can write index. Okay, I can give again the particular dictionary. I want to change this 0. So 0 is a number. So let's change it to n1. Okay, so you can see 0 is changed to n1, but definitely this will not be shown in the original data if I give it a run, so it will not be changed over here. But on the other hand, if I give in place, okay, in place, so equals to true, then you know that it is going to change it originally, but I will not change it right now because I have to work with the data. So this is how it works. Apart from this, let's say you want to delete a file, delete a series, okay, so df.head, okay, and let's say I'm not liking this release date because I don't need this type of data. So what I can do is I can write df.drop. Okay, drop from where I will have to mention. First of all, I will mention the things which I want to remove. Let's say I want to remove release.date. Okay, release date actually. Just a second. So inside this drop, I will paste this release date and comma. I will have to give the x is equals to 1. Okay, this is x is 0 because this series is created first, and this is x is 1. So x is 1 when I give it a run. So you can see the release date is removed. But again, when you run the original data frame, when you run the original data frame like this, df.head, you will get the release date. So again, what you have to do, you have to give in place equals to true. This has to be done. Now, when you run df.head for all, so you won't get the release date in it. This is how it works. Okay, now apart from this, what we have now, we have grouping of data. Okay, so if you remember that I just told you all about df dot genre, right? We got all the genres, and if I run df dot genre dot unique, so what do I get? I get all the unique values. And let's say df dot genre dot value counts, so this will give me the count of all the unique values. So let's do one thing. Let us split the data frame into five different data frames, which are going to be romance, thriller, comedy, drama, and action. It's going to be easy. So first of all, what we have to use is we have to use group by. Okay. So let's say x equals to df dot group underscore by. In this, we will be giving the values. So create a list, and in this write genre. Okay, this will split the. Okay, so the issue is that I don't have to give the underscore. So this will see now when I run X, so I will get panda score group by values. Now this group has different values in it. It has already grouped it. Okay, inside it has grouped the values like this. Now I have to get these values out. So it's going to be easy. Let's say I want comedy. So let's say C. Okay, X dot get group. Presumably, I guess it's a we are going to have this underscore. Okay, and get group what? I want the group comedy. Okay, so when I run C dot head, so see, I got all the comedy genres. Similarly, if I make it R equals to uh, x dot get underscore group, and I mention the R as romance. So romance, and I get R dot head as all the romantic movies. So see, you can see over here, the genres are not going to be changed. So you can also write R dot shape and confirm this thing. So it has 25 values, and we also know that romance has 25 values. So what I did, I first of all created a group, okay, with the genre, okay, the genre heading. Then I got the groups out of the particular group which I have created. Okay, so I have created a combination of groups, and each and every group has its own data frame inside this combination. Okay, so I'm getting that out over here. So it's easy. Now I believe that all the things are done mostly. The last thing which I need to describe is iLock. So first of all, let's say df.head. So what do we see over here? We see that the values are in columns x rows, right? Columns and rows. When we talk about string, let's say s is 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I want the third value, so I write 2. Okay, why 2? Because 0, 1, 2. This gives me the third value. So I write 2. Similarly, what is going to be over here? For this, first of all, we will have to use a function which is iLock, which is iLocation. Okay, and inside this, I will first of all give the square brackets. I will give the rows, okay, comma, columns. This has to be the method. So let's say I want the values. First of all, let us run df.head again so that we can just visualize it. So you see, this is two states over here. So what should be the index of this? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 0, 1. So what we have to do, this is on the 0, 1, first value. Column is 1 and the value row is 0. So let's write df dot ilock, give the row as 0 and the column as 1. So I get two states. I believe that you understood this thing. Let's say you want this whole row. Okay. Uh, First row, let's not take first row because obviously for first row we can write df dot head. So let's take this fourth row. So for this, what you will do? So for fourth row, you want everything. Okay, let's say you want all the columns. This is all. This is like if you write just a colon, that means you want everything. Okay, and the row is to be fourth. So we got three. Okay, serial number is 4. You can see serial number is 4. Movie name is Rajdhani Express. Genre is drama. Budget is this and this and this. Okay. So what we got to know that tf.ilog can work like this as well. Let's say I want 3 to 5. So see, I get 3 and 4 because obviously 5 is the wall. I believe that you remember the wall concept, that 5 is going to be excluded. So 5 is going to be excluded over here. Similarly, if let's say I only want certain movies, let's say I want movies 10 to 12. Okay, so 10 to 12 means including 12. So 10 to 13 I will write. And I only want the YouTube views, likes and dislikes. So 8, 7, 6, 6 to end. Okay, so see, movie number 10, 11, 12, YouTube views, YouTube likes, and YouTube dislikes. So iLog is nothing but two slicings together, and you have to work on it to be obviously it requires a lot of practice, and practice will definitely help you. Okay. Apart from this, the last thing which I can tell is conversion of data into different formats. So let's say I convert, okay, PD dot to HTML. Okay, and my data df.html, it will be df.tohtml, and let's give it a name as details. Okay, dot html. Let's give it a run. So yep, so df.tohtml, and I've given the name as details, right? So I will search for details html. So see, I have converted the data frame into html. So pandas is a very great library. If I just rewind this all stuff for you all. So pandas is used for extracting data and analyze it. We can install pandas by pip.install, pip install pandas. We can use it as by pd. They are two terms, series and data frame. And apart from that, how to work with data, shape, viewing the data, tails and heads, and apart from that, you have df.describe, df.genre. Like particular value you want. Let's say you have any other thing over it. Let's say it's written age, so you will write df.age and renaming them. Okay. Apart from this, we also saw renaming indexes. Then we saw dropping, I guess, right? Drop, like how to drop something, how to delete some particular table. And apart from that, we saw unique value counts, group by, and most importantly, iLock. People, if you don't practice iLock a lot, then definitely it will cause errors. And iLock is a very important thing in pandas as well. Generally, there are cases when you don't require the whole sheet, so you have to take out the iLock from the values. So definitely you will have to practice a lot about this. Apart from this, we saw how to convert a particular data frame into HTML. I will request you all that like if you want this particular data set, you can DM me on my Instagram. And if you want this particular file with all the features, or I also have a cheat sheet on pandas, then I can share that as well with you all. But still, the more you practice, the more you will get it. Please like the video and subscribe if you definitely think that this is going to help you. And to get more notes, or if you have any sort of doubt, you can DM me on my Instagram. The handle name is in front of you. So till then, have a good time and bye bye.